You've built a successful coaching business. You're making good money. Your clients are getting incredible results. But every sales call still feels like you're asking for permission to simply exist. You're explaining your methodology, justifying your rates. You're asking if they have questions instead of telling them exactly what happens next. Now, this isn't about your skills because they're world class. This isn't about your results. They speak for themselves. This is about what I call authority amnesia, and it's the reason premium clients are slipping through your fingers. I'm Lisa Mayhuby, and I help successful coaches and service-based experts stop apologizing for their expertise so they can finally charge what they're actually worth without explanation. Now, I'm glad you're here because this is part one of the Power Buyer Path. This is a 5-part series where I'm breaking down the exact psychological framework that's helped dozens and dozens of successful women reclaim their authority and start attracting clients who pay premium fees without negotiating. By the end of this series, you'll understand exactly why your current approach is repelling the premium buyers that you really want to work with. Right? These are the exact clients you want to work with, and yet you're repelling them and you don't even realize it. But what's more, I'll tell you exactly how to fix it. So let me tell you what's really happening here. And I need you to be honest with yourself as I walk through this. You've been infected by what I call the executive presence gap or the expert presence gap. This is the disconnect between the authority you should have and the authority you're actually claiming. Now, if you think about the most successful people in your industry, do they start their content with, I hope this helps someone? Do they end sales calls with, what questions do you have? Or do they apologize before sharing their expertise? Heck no. They state facts, online solutions, and tell people what happens next, period. But you're starting posts with, I hope this resonates. Ending sales calls asking for permission to close. Using phrases like, we'll work together to figure it out. Explaining your background instead of stating your solution. Now, here's the brutal truth. You're operating like you're grateful for any client when you should be selective about who gets access to your expertise. I'll never forget when one of the Fortune 100 companies that I used to work for sent me to diplomacy training because I was too direct. Meanwhile, the men that I worked with, the sales managers, the directors of sales, they could say exactly what they wanted, what they thought without anyone ever questioning their approach. But me, I needed to learn how to soften my delivery and be more collaborative. 25 years later, I'm watching brilliant coaches and experts apologizing before they share their knowledge. They're hedging their language with maybe and possibly. So basically, they're asking for permission to be right. And that's because we've been conditioned to believe our directness is a problem when it's actually our superpower. Your premium clients don't want diplomatic. They want definitive. Now, let me break down the 3 psychological traps that are killing your authority. Now, trap number 1 is the permission problem. You're asking for permission you don't need. Every time you say, does this resonate? You're asking, hey, am I allowed to be the expert here? Premium clients want decisive leadership, not collaborative uncertainty. Now, trap number 2 is the collaboration trap. Now, you think being collaborative makes you more approachable, but to high-level buyers, collaborative sounds like, I don't have a clear plan. Trap number 3 is authority amnesia, and I brought this up at the beginning of the video. So here's the deal. You've forgotten you're the damn expert. You're presenting your years of experience like it's a suggestion instead of a solution. So here's what this is really costing you. Financially, you're leaving at least $200,000 a year on the table because you're attracting 5K clients instead of 25K clients. Emotionally, every sales call that ends with, I need to think about it, chips away at your confidence, and that sucks. You eventually start questioning if you're actually as good as you thought. Professionally, you're watching newer coaches with way less experience charge more than you do because they actually have the audacity to position themselves as the expert when you're still hedging your expertise. And personally, you're exhausted from explaining your value to people who should be grateful to access your knowledge. So if you don't fix the expertise presence gap, here's your future. Year one, you'll keep attracting clients who need payment plans and treat you like their friend instead of their strategist. Year two, you'll start resenting your business. The constant explaining and hand-holding isn't what you signed up for. Year three, you'll either burn out or go back to a regular job because at least there, people respected your expertise. Meanwhile, coaches with half your experience will command the fees and respect you deserve simply because they never learned to apologize for their authority. So here are the 3 keys to start attracting the clients you want to work with that will pay the premium rates in 2025 and moving forward. So key number 1 is to stop asking permission. Be the expert. Your expertise is a fact. It's not a suggestion. So instead of saying something like, I think this might help, say, this is what fixes it. Key number 2 is command. Don't collaborate. Premium clients want leadership, not partnership. So instead of, we'll work together to figure this out, you'll say, I'll show you exactly what to do. And key number 3 is state facts. Don't explain value. Experts don't justify their decisions. They implement them. So instead of saying something like, here's why this program is worth the investment, say, this is what we're doing and this is when we start. I had a client, a successful business coach who was attracting people asking for payment plans constantly. And not that payment plans are a bad thing, but these people were defaulting on the very payment plans that they were asking for. So we spent one session identifying her authority amnesia. I showed her exactly where she was asking permission instead of giving direction. 48 hours later, she posted content stating exactly what she fixes and how, and 2 8K clients signed from that one post. No discovery calls, no, let me think about it. Just people who recognized authority when they saw it. So I've got 2 things for you. First, keep your eyes open for part 2. The next in this video series is the message makeover. How you can stop sounding like every other bloody coach in the coaching space. And this is where I'll show you the exact language patterns that are repelling the premium clients you want to work with and the specific words that magnetize them. Thing number 2 is I've created what I call the executive or expert presence audit, a 15-minute assessment that will show you exactly where you're leaking authority and the specific fixes you need to make in the next 48 hours. So take a look for the link somewhere around this video. Make sure you take the assessment, see your score, and remember, you didn't build your expertise to spend your career apologizing for having it. So part 2 drops soon. Don't miss it.